Thank you, Mr. President. Let me say straight away that I welcome this checklist. The Venice Commission has set out a very clear benchmark in this list against which the rule of law can be measured and indeed can be evaluated. I'm very aware of those who thought that this was an impossible task, but I do think it is useful and that they have done a very good job with it. And I think it's a very good starting point from which to begin our deliberations. I think if one was looking for the next edition of this, I would like to see something at the front of it that addresses the political aspects of what has been said. Of course, I accept that this is having to deal with both civil law jurisdictions and common law jurisdictions and can be extended to that. But the sort of thing that I mean is, for example, the current submission of the Ukrainian education law to the Venice Commission for an opinion, where on the one side you have a government that is intending to do good things for its people, and you have people who are complaining that it does not do good things for its minorities, and there is no perhaps right answer in the middle of that. So something about that and the way that it is dealt with. I think that one of the things that the report contains is the need for flexibility, and I do think that that is absolutely important. It's essential if we're to make sure that we don't create a rigid structure which will act as a legal straitjacket for us for the future. For example, access to justice starts with the right to access justice. Does that depend on state help for access to justice, or simply to the availability of justice and that justice is fair? Similarly with equality before the law. And second, the law itself is changing. This is a report that concentrates on courts, but the decisions for legal judgments is moving away from courts into alternative dispute resolution forums. And that takes place in Dubai, in Singapore, in Australia, and I would argue in the European Court of Justice as well. And I think that what that does is to move away from the central role of the justice system in this, and it's not just for small commercial issues. It is actually for a very, very large cases that take place under this system. And I think for the next edition we need to see some reference to that and some inclusion for that and how it can be incorporated for the future.